friends, I'm Kaylin, a nutrition educator from CalFresh Healthy Living in the University of California Cooperative Extension. Today, we're going to talk about pollinators in our garden. When you think about fruits and vegetables, what comes to mind? Do you think about how colorful they are? Maybe how yummy they look. But, do you ever think about where your fruits and vegetables come from? And I don't just mean from the garden, but how they are made and what's involved? Let's start from the beginning. I'm sure you've all seen the many flowers in your garden. But have you ever wondered why these plants have flowers? You've also probably wondered how your fruits form from the flowers. The answer is pollinators. There are many different kinds of pollinators: butterflies, bees, birds like the hummingbird, ants, bats, beetles, flies, moths, and the list can just go on and on. Pollinators are super important in our garden. Animal pollinators visit flowers in search of food, mates, shelter, and nesting. And when they visit the flower, they tend to transfer the flower's pollen, allowing the flower to reproduce. We call this mutually beneficial symbiotic relationship. That means the flower and the animal pollinator need each other to survive. About 80% of all flowering plants and over 3/4 of our food-producing crops that we need to survive rely on animal pollinators. The USDA Forest Service says pollinators are responsible for 1 out of every 3 bites of food you eat. Who knew? This means pollinators are a crucial part of our food chain and contribute to a sustainable ecosystem. In today's video, we'll be diving deeper into one particular animal pollinator. That's right, bees. Most of us are familiar with one particular type of bee, known as the European honeybee. But there are over 4,000 native bees in the United States. And most of you may not know this, but there are 1,600 species of native bees that can be found here in California. They come in various shapes and sizes. You've probably seen many of them already. Bees tend to be the best pollinators because their specialized hair on their body makes them perfect for transporting pollen to other flowers. It is estimated that about 30% of our food comes from plants pollinated by bees. In California alone, about 1/3 of our agricultural revenue comes from pollinator-dependent crops, like almonds. When bees collect nectar and pollen from flowers, they can transfer some of that pollen to nearby flowers. The pollen then travels down the piston of the flower and fertilizes the egg that then becomes a seed. And when the fruit matures, that becomes what we love to consume. Foods like tomatoes, apples, oranges, almonds, and many more. Not only do bees pollinate plants that produce the food we eat, but some species like honeybees, or sometimes known by their scientific name, Apis mellifera, produce many products we use. This includes honey and beeswax. Some bees are solitary bees. That means they live alone and not in a hive. For some bees, like honeybees, that are social bees, they live in large colonies that can be made up of thousands or tens of thousands of individuals. In each colony, all the bees have important tasks that help the colony to survive. In a social bee colony, the queen is responsible for making the eggs that become the new worker bees. And in each colony, there's only one queen. She can be spotted easily because she's much larger than the others, with a longer abdomen. Then there are the worker bees. All the worker bees in the colony are female. They help keep the hive clean, they feed and raise the new young bees once they're born, they keep the queen happy and healthy, and the most important job is left to the worker bees called foragers. Foragers are bees that are responsible for getting the pollen and sometimes nectar that feeds the whole colony. They collect pollen into tight bundles called pollen baskets that can be seen on their back legs. Without the foragers, there would be no food for the colony. Additionally, because the forager's job is to collect the pollen, they end up being responsible for pollinating our gardens and farms. We can thank them for some of our fruits and vegetables. Want more information about pollinators and especially bees? Check out these links where you can learn more about our new friends. Got any bee or beekeeping related questions? Check out the link where you can talk to a Master Beekeeper in the California Master Beekeeping program. Thanks for joining us on this Pollinator Spotlight on Bees. I hope you learned so much about bees. Next time you're out in the garden or on a walk, look around. See if you can see any bees near you. See you next time!